So 384,122 vehicles in the second quarter. The thing about the data is it doesn't distinguish by geography, right? There is some monthly data from different jurisdictions around the world. But go under the hood of the data. What did you learn from the print, Stephanie?
Yeah, I was thinking about, we had our forecast call last week, and we were forecasting that Tesla would have a 21% year-over-year decline. So I think if you look at when the numbers start coming in, we'll probably see the numbers in the next few days. I think the U.S., we're probably going to see a larger decline year-over-year. And once again, with Tesla, it's all about having the product, right? They've had no product other than the Cybertruck, so they need a new product. And then just globally, just the competition from China, whether it's BYD, Zeekr, Xiaomi, there's just lots of competition. And then, as we all know, with the recent Doge participation, Elon has had some polarization both in Europe and the U.S. markets. So I think it's going to be critical for Tesla to rebrand themselves and really bring some new product. If they can get that affordable product launched, that could be a game changer for them.
Can they rebrand themselves with Elon taking over control of, even more so, the US, the European sales focus too? Is that the right sort of rebranding?
Yes, I think it's going to take a lot of work, right? Especially in the U.S., especially in certain parts of the country in the U.S. I think it can be done, but it's going to have to be very targeted, very strategic, and it has to be ongoing. It can't be a one-time thing. But also, I think it's all about product, right? You think about consumers. If you look at the U.S. market, GM has been rolling out EVs the last couple of years, and they're right behind Tesla, eating up market share. So I think it goes back to having kind of that whole strategy as a car company, right? They're a car company trying to transition into an AI, but that car business is all about product and the right price and the right consumer experience.
But that consumer experience, that product, is technology at its very heart, Stephanie. If we think about how China looks as though it's stabilizing, many may be thinking that it's because of FSD, actually, that wins back some of the focus in China and competes against Xiaomi with the latest SU7 and competes against the BYD. Right. How important is FSD?
I think it's critical, especially you think about as Tesla is trying to become this AI. And with their recent robotaxi unveiling in Austin, it was small scale, but it was very important that they actually did launch when they said they were. And I think it's going to be important for them to continue to scale. And I know there's a lot of safety concerns and some regulatory, but I think it's going to be important for them to continue to innovate on their chips, on their dojo, to really kind of create that competitive moat around AI.
Stephanie, I use full self-driving supervised every single day. I do about 60 miles a day. Tesla's approach is get in the car and try it, and then you'll see the future where Tesla operates as a ride-hailing company with robo-taxis. Right. Is that sales pitch resonating, the jump from a driver assistant tool to them becoming an Uber-type player?
I think it's challenging. And you think about just kind of when they're in competition, you have Waymo, right, who has lots of miles. And I think recently we just heard Jim Farley say that he thinks the Waymo approach is better. So I think Tesla has a lot more to prove. I think their approach can be effective if they're able to roll it out and get more miles and overcome some of the safety and regulatory concerns.
The idea that Tesla's going to sell 10 million vehicles a year by the end of the decade seems to have changed now, right? But within the data, there are signs that outside of North America and Europe, they might be getting traction in new markets. Do you have any sense of what those new markets are?
Yeah, I think they're looking at India. I think that's another market, and some more of these other South American countries. So I think that's going to be an opportunity for them. But to your point, it's going to be critical for them to look at other options because, as we know, China's getting to get to that overcapacity. And so they need to find locations to export their EVs. And also, I think with some of the tariffs in place between U.S. China, I think it's going to be important for them. And then also to continue to increase production in Berlin. I think that's a smart move as well. I will say the one thing, we've talked about all the headwinds. Tesla does have, the advantage of having the vertical integration, and that's what really gives them an up in some of the other U.S. manufacturers. So that's one thing I want to just point out. That's really, something important to remember about Tesla.